Hey, and welcome back to the channel. So as we are on the brink of 2021, as we are approaching a brand new year, closing the chapter on one year and opening up a new one, I think we all know by now, whether we are part of this group or whether we watch this group. I was definitely a part of this group for I don't know, since I can remember, since I was an adult. So I guess it's going on 20 years now, I guess. Yeah, totally. One of the biggest New Year's resolutions is losing weight. Most of the time it is the biggest. Once in a while it trades places with things like paying off debt or travel, but most of the time getting healthy, losing weight is the number one New Year's resolution. However, if you are in my category, I would be like gung-ho about that for a whole, whopping 14 days. And then I would fall to the wayside, give up, give in next year, next month, next week. And that turned into more than a decade of being morbidly obese. So today we're going to talk about what I believe will be your game changer, what I believe will be the difference in just another year going by with an unresolved resolution, with an unfinished resolution, with a resolution that you give up and give in on versus completing that baby. So that when 2022 comes, you are standing looking in the mirror going, wow, look what I did. Feeling accomplished versus feeling defeated. But before we jump in to that, if you have not taken a moment and joined our community here on YouTube, our growing community, by hitting the subscribe button, make sure to do that. Hit the subscribe button, smash the like button. Listen, bottom line is the tips that we give here on YouTube, the weight loss tips, the health tips, the fitness tips, they work. They help me go from a weight loss failure to going from a size 22 down to a size 2 in 13 months. They've helped our clients. We all need inspiration. We all need inspiration. And so these are tips that I didn't read in a book. These aren't tips that I learned by watching some TV show. These are tips and strategies that I learned through the school of freaking weight loss hard knocks. That is a thing. When people are like, oh, the streets are hard knocks. I'm like, so is weight loss. So is weight loss. It is freaking hard. And so anyway, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, make sure to do that. Give the video a thumbs up. All three of those things combined take less than probably 10 seconds to do. 20 seconds if you're technologically challenged like I am. So anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the video and let's talk about the thing we're going to talk about tonight, which is a game changer. You know how there's certain, a sports team has their certain go-to plays that are their secret weapons? This is the secret weapon to weight loss success. And I thought it was appropriate to talk about right here as we're getting to go into a new year, or even if you're watching this in the new year, that knowing that implementing this one thing that we're going to talk about tonight really, honestly, will change everything. And I actually learned this strategy through business. And it wasn't until I applied it to weight loss that I actually succeeded. I had applied it in business, applied it in other areas of my life, but for some reason, I never connected the dots and applied it to this very thing. And what I will tell you is this very thing we're going to talk about tonight, you can use in every area of your life that you want to have success. There's not one area of life that this does not work in, but tonight specifically, we're going to talk about how to apply it to weight loss. And what we're going to talk about is having a vision. Having a vision. Now I want to stop right there because some of y'all just went, oh, that's it. Sometimes the things that sound the simplest are the things we don't do. The things that sound like, oh yeah, I've heard that before, are the things we're not doing. Because if we're doing something, then we have the fruit of it in our lives. How do you know if you know something? Knowing something isn't that we've heard it before. Knowing something is that our life is a direct result of it. And so when I dismissed this vision thing for a very long time, I went, oh, I was like, okay, yeah, no, that can't be that big of a deal. But I am telling you, there's one video this year that you're going to watch the entire thing and you're not going to miss a second, this is it. Do not dismiss this. When I say this is a game changer, that's not me trying to say that so you watch it. That is like the real deal, the truth, like freaking amen, sister. Hallelujah. This is like the mecca of all weight loss success tips. All right. So having a vision. And I want to walk you through what that looks like, what it walks like, what it talks like, what it smells like, what it looks like to actually do that inside of your weight loss goal. So the very first thing is with having a vision, that is actually biblical. For anybody who believes that we have a creator, a maker that lives up in this place called heaven, then it is biblical. Like a man without a vision will perish. And what I will tell you behind every single person failing, quitting, is a lack of vision. Like, I will say quitting. Behind every person quitting is a lack of vision. Why? Because failure is a part of success. So sometimes you fail at something, you fall down at something, you scrape your knees because it's a lesson you needed to learn. It's a skill set you needed to learn so that when you do get to where you're going, you do lose all the weight, you have the skill to maintain it, all right? But anytime I've worked with a lot of clients, hundreds and hundreds, over 1,000 clients at this point in my career as in the field of health, weight loss, fitness, all of that. And every single time I see a person quit or give up, the root of that is this. It is a lack of vision. People who lack vision quit and give up when they meet an obstacle, when they have a door closed, when they mess up, when they fail. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Listen, failing is a part of success. Messing up is a part of life. You're human. I'm human. We live on planet Earth. None of us are perfect. So like I lost 161 pounds in 13 months not being perfect. I lost 161 pounds in 13 months messing up a lot. But prior to me losing that weight almost 7 years ago, prior to that was like every time I would mess up, I would quit. Every time things, there's that saying that says when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Well, for me with weight loss, as soon as the going got tough, I was like out of there. I was on to the next diet, the next fad, the next whatever thingamabobber was. I was like out. Like it got hard and I'm like, nope, not for me. And I was always diet hopping, diet skipping, looking for the next greatest thing that was, the weight loss thing that would work for me. And so vision, how do you establish a vision? And so after over a decade of failure, if I'm being 100% transparent and honest, I was afraid to have a vision. I didn't want to talk about weight loss in front of people because I was morbidly obese. I was busting out of a size 22. So it became this little secretive thing that I longed to be thin, I longed to be skinny, I longed to be fit, but I didn't talk about it because I didn't want anybody to know that this was a secret desire I had that I was clearly failing at. And all that came from a fear of repeating my past, a fear of my future attempts ending up the same place my last ones did. Well, fear and faith can't coexist. You got to pick one. You can't be fearful of the past and have a vision. And create a vision to go forward. You can't look forwards and backwards at the same time. So this year, you've got to pick one. You've got to pick, I'm going to focus on my past failures or I'm going to focus on my future successes because you can't do both at the same time. So you've got to make a decision. You've got to pick. I'm going to start building a vision for what my life's going to look like, or I'm going to live in the past and dwell on what I haven't done and how life hasn't worked out. You got to pick one. So let's start creating your vision. So when I get a new client started, one of the questions that I ask is, what are 3 celebrities whose bodies you like? What are 3 celebrities, like when you're looking through a celebrity magazine or when you see, and I say celebrities because their information is public. Like Mary Jo Smith Jane down the road, I can't go to Google and say, how tall is she? What does she weigh? What size she is? At all. And when I'm doing it, I get a mixture of responses when I ask this question. One of them is, well, Carmen, I'm not really a celebrity person. I don't really covet other people's bodies. I don't really do that kind of thing. Or they just answer the question. Or, and I've done all three of these, by the way. Or they pick celebrities who are bigger, like, you know, like I did. I would be like, well, you know, Khloe Kardashian, she's bigger. Jordan Sparks, she's a little bigger. And so I would try to pick people. And here's the thing, Khloe Kardashian's still a freaking size 6. She's not a size 0 like some celebrities, but she's still a size 6, which when you're coming from a size 22 is tiny. That's beside the point. The point is, you've got to have a picture in your head of where you're going. You've got to have a target to aim at. Think about any sport you ever play. Basketball has a goal. Basketball without the goal would be pointless. Football has an end zone. If there was no end zone, there'd be nothing to shoot for. There'd be no point in playing the game. Like when you play a board game, there's always an end. There's always a goal to get to. So the same thing is with weight loss. If you don't have a target to shoot at, if you don't have a target to aim at, you will surely hit nothing. A GPS is an amazing invention. Oh my goodness. Amazing. However, if you don't have the coordinates and ending address to enter into the GPS, it is freaking useless. And so it's the same thing when it comes to your health, your weight. If you don't have a target that you're shooting for, you're aiming at nothing. And if you aim at nothing, you will surely freaking hit it. And so you've got to have a target. And so this is where I started. After years of saying, well, you know, I'm a size 22. If I could just get to a size 12, I'd be happy. If I could just get to a size 16, I'd be great. If I could just get to a size 10 or an 8, I'd be great. Like my goals were always based out of fear versus based out of if failure wasn't an option. If I knew I couldn't fail, what size would I be? If my fairy godmother drifted into the room with her magic little wand and showed up and said, hello, Carmen, what size can I make you? What size butt? What size boobs? What size waist? What size blah, blah, blah? What would it be? If she could just wave her magic wand and boop, bibbity boppity boo, what would it be? Because those are two different answers. When I'm setting a goal based on fear of failure, fear of repeating my past, that's a different answer than bibbity boppity boo, fairy godmother. If I knew I couldn't fail, here's what would happen. Two completely different answers. And so it was like, no, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to lose weight, let me be real. I'm not going to go on somebody else's vision for my life. What do I want my body to look like? Because if you chase a fake goal, again, that won't motivate you. See, here's the thing with vision. When you build a strong vision, if your vision is strong enough, there's no obstacle that can slow you down. If your vision is strong enough, your past failures don't have a chance. If your vision is strong enough, nothing else freaking matters. And a vision doesn't just pop up. A vision is built. A vision gets built over time. It's one step after another step after another step, consecutive steps that build a strong vision. So long I'd be like, Lord, just give me a vision. He did give me a vision. The vision was to be thin, to be healthy, to set a good example for my kids. It was my job to build that vision. It was my job to sell myself on that vision. And it started with having a goal. And so I looked through hundreds and thousands of celebrity photos, celebrity whatevers, you know, and it was for the first time in my life being honest with myself of what do I really want? Like if failure wasn't an option, if I wasn't setting a goal based on past failures, what would my body look like? And I came up with some names and they scared the bejesus off. How do you say that word? Bejesus? They scared the whoopee out of me, man. They just like even thinking of like, so I wrote down Kim Kardashian. Oh! You know, love, hate the Kardashians, though she's got an amazing body. Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lopez. Like these were the Britney Spears. Like these were the people that I wrote down on my list. And I would just look at them and there was a part of me going, yes. And then there was another part of me going, you're a morbidly obese woman. How dare you? What right do you have to think you can have a body like that? But for the first time in my life, I chose to ignore that voice. Ignore the voice that says you can't have that body. Ignore the voice that says you don't have those genetics. Ignore the voice that says you are a weight loss failure. You could never do that. You're big boned. I ignored that voice. And I chose to focus on the voice that said, give it a go. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? And that's what I chose to focus on. And so I came up with that list. And then I went to Google and then I started typing in, how much does this person weigh? I started looking at their height and their sizes. So how tall were they? Because I'm 5'4", so I'm average height for a woman. So then I was like, oh, some of these people are like 5'4" too. And then I looked at what they weighed. And that gave me an approximate goal. Because guys, it had been so long since I had been in a normal weight. The smallest I can remember being was a size 7 in the 7th grade. That is like the smallest I can remember ever being. And so it was like, okay, well, it's not like I was thin or healthy or fit and then I had kids and gained weight and couldn't, I was like big since I was like little, like a teenager. I was overweight. And so I had my first step, which was I'm 5'4", based on failure wasn't an option, based on what my eyes like, I should be right around between about 130 pounds. So that was the first goal, 130 pounds. I had to establish a vision of what I wanted my body to look like. Enter Jennifer Lopez, Kim Kardashian, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Britney Spears, Jennifer Aniston. There you go. There were my 5. Then it was, okay, how am I going to get there? How am I going to get there? So here's my vision. For me personally, I'm going to combine fitness with nutrition. It wasn't because I liked fitness or healthy food. I didn't like fitness and I didn't like healthy food. I was morbidly obese because I loved cheesecake, carbs, and cheese. Are you hearing me? I never just ate too many nuts and that's why I was overweight. I didn't eat too many dates and avocado. No. I was eating all the carbs, all the sugar, all the gluten, all of it. That's why I personally was overweight. I ran for the border one too many times. And so, okay, I'm going to combine fitness with nutrition. Why? Because I had saw the before and afters. And out of all the before and afters I had ever seen with these eyes, those were the ones that made me go, wait a freaking minute. How did they do that? How, what? Those were the ones. And so I knew that if failure wasn't an option, and I wanted the before and after, that instead of looking at the before and after going, wow, that's got to be Photoshopped, that someday that would be mine. And so the next thing is what would I wear? So what is the goal? I didn't have a size attached to that goal. It was a weight. I'm going to get to 130 pounds, knowing that as I got closer, I could adjust it. Like if all of a sudden I got to 140 pounds, because I was afraid of being too skinny. That was one of my things I would verbalize. Well, I don't want to look like a 12-year-old stick figure. I still want to have a butt and boobs and a waist and curves. I don't want to look like, the people that I had judged. I'm one of my biggest fears at morbidly obese was I don't want to look too skinny. I still want to have curves. So I told myself then, Carmen, you can still adjust it. So the next thing was, what am I going to wear? When I get to that weight, again, allowing myself to dream, allowing myself to live outside of, no, you could never wear that. And if failure wasn't an option and bibbity boppity boo came into the picture and boop, what would I wear? So I created a private Pinterest board and it was Carmen's skinny clothes. I still have that Pinterest board. And that Pinterest board was full of little tight bodycon dresses. It was full of skinny jeans. It was full of shirts tucked into the skinny jeans. It was full of like the knee-high boots that I couldn't wear, the over-the-knee boots. It was filled with all those cute little trendy clothes that don't look good on size 22 girls, that they don't make in the size 22 section. And so I just started creating a Pinterest board, and there would be nights when my husband was working late, I would just get on Pinterest for an hour, 2 hours, and I would pin different outfits to what I will wear. I would pin different dresses to things I would wear on date nights, things I would wear to New Year's Eve, to Christmas. I picked out my outfit for the following Christmas. What am I going to wear to the following Christmas? In my new body, in my new size, what will I wear? What will I wear on my next birthday? What will I wear next New Year's Eve? So this whole time, I am building the vision. I am building the vision. I am selling myself the vision. I'm selling myself the vision. What kind of bathing suit will I wear? I mean, because prior to that, I hated bathing suits. I owned bathing suits, but I didn't really, I was like a permanent cover-up girl. Like I had the cover-up over the bathing suit and I only took the cover-up off when I went in the water. And then when I got back out, I wrapped my extra large towel around me and that was it. Like walk around in a bathing suit on the beach. Who does that? Not this chick. So what kind of bathing suits will I have? Picked out some clothes. And then on date, I started showing my husband, I don't even know. I should ask him one time. I should do a whole interview with him on here. Just asking him what he thought about some of these things. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that video. Because I shared openly all these things with my husband. And I would take him like photos of bathing suits. And I'd be like, babe, what do you think about this? When I lose my weight, like when I get to my goal, like this bathing suit. And he'd be like, yeah, I think that's freaking hot. Like, like it had to be an awkward situation for him. I'd just be like, what do you think about this dress? And there would be date nights where I would say, hey, can we just walk around the mall? And I would pick out things that I would maybe want to wear that I liked. I would ask him, hey, what are some of these clothes that you like? So again, on date night, I'm still morbidly obese. We would walk around the skinny girl clothes section, the regular size section, and I would show him clothes that I was going to wear someday. I would ask his opinion on what do you like? And so I started to see what kind of clothes he liked. And it was just like, again, building the vision, building the vision, building the vision. Started to talk about where I was going. I started to talk about, even when I hated fitness, what if this and what if I allowed myself to dream? I can remember laying in bed one night and just dreaming about maybe being a fitness professional. Maybe this could be my profession. Maybe someday designing a line of fitness apparel. And we're laying in bed. What's the word? I guess we were spooning. My husband's laying beside me and I don't know, we were snuggling. And all of a sudden I'm just like, and he's like, so basically you want to be Jillian Evan Michaels. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. And he's like, well, that's what it sounds like to me. And I'm like, well, she's kind of a BA. Like that wouldn't be a horrible thing. But I did not even realize that I had built my vision up so much that to somebody else listening, he was like, so basically you want to be this blah, blah. And I was like, no, well, maybe. Is that bad? And so listen, I hit all kinds of obstacles during my weight loss, those 13 months losing weight. Everything did not go perfectly. There were days I wanted to quit. But what was the biggest difference between those 13 months and the previous decade? Why didn't I quit during those 13 months? It wasn't that I didn't want to. It wasn't that I didn't have hard days, hard moments. It wasn't that every day was perfect. No. The difference was I actually had a vision. My goal was I was going to lose 2 pounds a week. So I extrapolated that out. It was going to take me 79 weeks to lose 158 pounds, which is what I had to lose to get to my goal. 79 weeks. So I mapped it out on my calendar and it was like, all right, I need to lose 2 pounds a week, 79 weeks. That's about 18 months. And I had the day that I should reach my goal. And it was like starred and marked and whatever. And I was going to have a celebration for reaching my goal of 130 pounds. I wound up getting to 128.5 pounds in 13 months. It took me less time than I thought. Why? Because as you're going, results compound. It's called momentum. When you build momentum, see, you can't ever calculate compound interest, momentum. You can't calculate that. So as I was going and the momentum built on top of itself, I wound up reaching my goal in 13 months versus 18 months. 13 months versus 18 months. I'm telling you, when you start allowing yourself to dream, when you start walking in, if I knew I couldn't fail, what would it look like? What would my body look like? What would my weight loss look like? What would my health look like? And you start building this vision. Those obstacles don't stand a chance. Your past failures don't stand a chance. All the things that have stopped you before don't stand a chance. If right now you're struggling with going all in and then quitting, if you are a perpetual quitter like I was, it's just because you haven't built your vision strong enough. When you have a strong enough vision, nothing else matters. But when you have no vision, a man without a vision will perish. A man without a vision will fail, will quit every single time. Every single time. And so I want to encourage you, this coming into this year, start working on this vision. Start developing it now. There's a reason why we're doing this live a couple days before we enter into the new year. So hopefully you can start on that vision. And listen, if you found this video and it's 6 months into the new year, that's where I started. I didn't start at the beginning of the year. But when it finally occurred to me that I should start, I didn't wait. I started on a Wednesday. So whenever you're watching this video, what is your vision? Make that list of celebrities. What would your body look like? What size would you be? What would your weight be? What would you wear when you got there? What vacations would you take? Where would you visit? Be as specific as possible, because nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. And when you start working this baby out, you're gonna see a shift. You're gonna start to see changes. You're gonna start to see success. You're gonna start to see you overcoming the obstacles versus being overcome. And so anyway, I am gonna link down in the description box, just because I think it goes well with this, my 4 biggest weight loss regrets as we're talking about weight loss. So, and as you're planning your weight loss success, things that I wished I would have done that I didn't do, my top 4. Again, I will link that video in the description box. If you haven't, if you just got so enthralled with the video and you didn't hit the subscribe button or ring the notification bell or smash the like button, now is the time. Now is the time to do that. So anyway, thanks so much for watching live with us. Thanks so much for visiting.